Hello, I'm Elaine Smith, the Artistic Director of the Clamour Theater Company. We're holding these creative conversations with playwrights, with actors, with directors, so that you can find out more about Clamour Theater and about the artists who work with us. Hi, welcome to this edition of a Clamour Creative Conversation. Today, we're talking with Pamela Morgan, a playwright selected for our 6th annual Playwrights Retreat, whose play Glory to the Father is going to be read on March 20th as part of Clay and Water 2024 at McCormick Hall in Penny Farms, Florida. Welcome, Pamela. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So why don't you introduce yourself, tell our viewers a little bit about yourself, whatever we should know.
Sure. My name is Pamela Morgan. I am from the Midwest in Normal, Illinois. And I've always been a part of theater since I was a child. But I kind of came to playwriting during the pandemic as more of a career playwright. I think when everything shut down, I wanted a way to connect with people. And theater has always been the way I connected with people. So we started doing virtual theater. And then I have continued doing that. I went and finished my MFA in creative writing with a focus on theater. And I since have not stopped. So, and I am also a children's picture book writer. So I have a book currently in print, Simply Sky, that came out this past summer. That was actually inspired by my oldest child, who is non-binary. And I think some awards that I have gotten was, I think you said to mention these, the recently for Glory to the Father, which I was really excited about. I got the Kennedy Center American College Theater Festival Region 5 Julie Jensen Playwriting Award this year. So that was really exciting because Glory to the Father is my thesis play that I used for graduation. So that was really exciting to receive that. Yeah. And then last year, a play that I wrote, Local School Board, which is about sort of the bathroom bills and the battles that take place at the high school level, that actually won the Kennedy Center American College Theater Festival Region 5 Rosa Parks Playwriting Award, which was another really one that I was very proud of receiving.
Yeah, congratulations. That's
Thank
great.
you. Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about Glory to the Father without giving away too much of the plot, but what should we know about that before we see it?
Yeah, so, okay, without giving away too much of the plot, it is about an emerging playwright who came to playwriting later in her life. Wow. It's definitely, it being my thesis play, I wanted to take inspiration from my life without taking a story about my life. So there's definitely themes that run through it that I have explored through the play, that I dealt with in my own upbringing specifically. And I think the biggest one is the religious trauma, that childhood trauma and religious trauma that people and families can experience. And it's generational. It's not always just, one child or one family. It's also the parents who are raising that child who experienced something similar or worse themselves. So that's definitely a key part of the play. But one of the things I was trying to recreate on the stage specifically is the process of healing from trauma and that what you go through in therapy and when you're getting help for that. And I wanted it not just as we watch Rachel, the main character, go through this, but I kind of wanted the audience to experience that at the same time. So that was sort of my goal with the piece when I set out to write my thesis play. And I hope that I captured that pretty well. Yeah. So I think those are two key things without giving too much away.
Good. Excellent. So tell me why you decided to apply to the retreat.
Yeah, so I am a working parent of two school-aged children, and obviously a recent MFA graduate, so I'm got a lot of loans, and I'm pretty broke because playwrights don't make money. If you didn't know that, so I always look for these kinds of opportunities where I can get away from the responsibilities of my life, and focus on writing. So these always appeal to me the most, and to the Clamours in particular, I believe in your call out, you specified you were looking for queer and LGBTQ playwrights and or stories. And so that really spoke to me because that's an important part of my life. So those were the two factors, but mainly that I can have time away where I don't have the responsibilities of my life,
Yeah,
and I can focus on my craft because I honestly, as a mother, as a working mother, as a broke working mother, I don't often have that opportunity in my day-to-day life. So
sure. Yeah, no, and that is part of the main point
the
of having
appeal,
the
yeah.
retreat. Yeah, yeah. No, just because if nothing else, we can give you time away from your
Yes.
ordinary life. Did you have anything in particular you're hoping to get out of this reading or the retreat as a whole, other than a rest?
Yeah. Yes. So far I've already dug in far deeper than I have so far. When I finished my play for my thesis at the beginning of the summer last year, I haven't touched it since. So getting to hear the actors read it, and then working with the dramaturg has really that's been, I think, an experience I have not had yet, and really has helped me dig into specific scenes and characters, motivations. I've made complete changes I didn't even expect to make at this stage already. And I know we still have one more reading and then the actual reading. So I'm excited. You know, that's, I think my goal was to make it more production ready. And I believe I'm already closer to that goalpost. And so hopefully by the end of this, that's where I am.
Great. That's great. I'm glad it seems to be working.
Yeah.
Um, so do you have a favorite play of your own?
uh well, it's probably this one, or I wrote another one, load bearing walls. So I would, it's I love them both so much. So neither has been produced yet. Just putting it out there for people. They would be world premieres. But yeah, so I think Glory to the Father is closer to production ready than my other play, Load Bearing Walls. Although I think Load Bearing Walls is it's really inspired by a Supreme Court ruling that took place in Sweden. And so the story itself, it represents an asexual couple. That one's really, really close to my heart. So I love them both. But that one is definitely, Glory to the Father, as we kind of spoke, it's kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not, it's very contemporary. It's not, it doesn't follow, a straight plot. Whereas Load Bearing Walls is much more realistic, I guess, or like real life. So I think there's things about both that I really love them both.
Well, that's good. That's terrific.
Yeah.
One of the things I like to ask are, what are three favorite plays by other authors that you have either seen or read, and what is it that you like about them?
Yeah, yeah. So I have three. How I Learned to Drive by Paula Vogel. And I think I've never seen it performed. It should come as no surprise after you watch Glory to the Father. That it was definitely like a mentor play that I used for this. I think I have read that play, picked it apart a million times by now. And it's, in my opinion, such a perfectly crafted play, structured in a way that it takes the audience on a journey that is unbeatable in my opinion. And I would love to see it staged one day. So that's a hope. And then I love Hurricane Diane by Madeline George. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that one. I'm working on a new play starting in April that has to do with climate change. And that play, it's fun. It's so unique. It is Dionysus is the main character from Greek mythology, but it is a woman, and she is. I've never met a character like her before. I love her, and the story's so weird. It's a very unique story, and I recommend checking it out. And then The Revolutionists by Lauren Gunderson, and I have seen it performed. I fell in love with it when I went to see it performed. I did not read it first. It's just smart and it's fun and funny, and it's the kind of play I wish I wrote those kinds of plays. You know, that's not the kind of playwright I am, and that's okay. But like, it's just so clever and it's so witty, and I really love that one.
Good. Okay. This is good because, I asked this question and almost inevitably I get something. I'm like, oh gosh, now I got to add that to my reading list.
Yeah.
So, is there a book that has been helpful to you in your development as a playwright? Or it doesn't have to be about writing. It could be inspirational in some other
Yeah.
way.
So that's interesting. Because I was thinking a lot about this one. So I don't know how other playwrights get inspired. I am inspired by poetry. So I don't know if you can see the cover for this.
It's a little
This is
glary, but
Worldly Things by Michael Kleber Diggs. I think there is a poem in that book that is definitely the inspiration that led to Glory to the Father. And actually to two of my plays that I've written. I love poetry. I think there's just such an elegance to conveying such subtle emotion and thoughts and processes in so few words. And I admire it. I can't do it. I did, I took poetry classes. I have written poetry. It is nothing like when I am inspired by poetry. So poetry is definitely very inspiring to me. And often that if it's not a real life event that inspires me, it is a poem that inspires a work that I'm doing. Also though, and I think I wish there were more of these, and I wish more playwrights got involved in them, but like writing events. So End of Play, that takes place in April through the Dramatists Guild. I do it every year. Nothing gets those cylinders firing like a 30-day deadline to write an entire play. There's also in February, they do 28 plays later. Now, I don't write a play a day because that's insane and I don't have that kind of time. But I like the prompts, and I take the prompts and I'll usually write down ideas. And then over the course of the year, something might shake loose. For me, those are the kinds of things that inspire me, though.
good. Great. So, okay. Well, for our viewers, if you would like to know more about Pamela, you can look for her and her work on the New Play Exchange website at newplayexchange.org. And I don't recall, Pamela, do you have a website of your own?
I do. It is PamelaMorganWrites.com.
Okay, so you can find her there as well. And if you would like to attend the free reading of Pamela's play Glory to the Father on March the 20th at 7 p.m. Eastern at McCormick Hall, you can make a reservation on Clamour's website, which is also the place to go for information about all our other events. We're clamourtheater.org. You can find us on Facebook as Clamour Theater Company, and we will post all of those URLs in the description below. So if you'd like to see more interviews like this one, please do hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Pamela, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today and letting us get to know more about you. We are really looking forward to the reading and really glad you've been able to join us for Clay and Water 2024.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, we'll see you soon.